All right, everyone, welcome back. We're diving deep into something you've all been asking about this season, band protocol.
Yeah, band protocol, it's definitely having a moment.
For sure. So for anyone just tuning in, band protocol, it's a cryptocurrency, right?
That's right.
And we're going to try to unpack why everyone's so hyped about it.
Absolutely. We'll break it all down.
Awesome. Now, from the research I've been doing, it seems like band protocol is all about solving this problem of bringing real-world data onto the blockchain.
Exactly. And that's a huge challenge because, a blockchain is this self-contained system.
Right. It can keep track of everything happening inside, like all the transactions and stuff.
Right, but it's like it has these blinders on when it comes to anything happening in the real world outside the blockchain.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. So, like, how would a blockchain even know the price of gold is today or, like, what the weather's doing?
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't. At least not without some help. And that's where band protocol steps in. It's like building a bridge between the real world and the blockchain.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So how does it actually do that? How does it get that information onto the blockchain?
It uses something called oracles. Think of them as these little data messengers, right?
Okay, like messengers, got it.
They go out and fetch information from the real world. Things like stock prices, weather data, election results, anything you can think of. And then they bring it back to the blockchain.
So these oracles, they're kind of like the eyes and ears of the blockchain then.
That's a great way to put it. But it's not just about getting the information. It's about getting it there securely and making sure it's accurate.
Right, because how do we know those oracles are telling the truth? What's to stop someone from messing with the data?
That's where things get really interesting. Band protocol has this really clever consensus mechanism. Basically, it uses multiple oracles to verify the same piece of data.
So it's not just relying on one source.
Exactly. You have multiple oracles independently checking the information, and they have to agree on what they're seeing, and if one of them is off, it gets flagged.
That's a pretty smart system. It's like having multiple witnesses to a crime, making it way harder to get away with anything fishy.
Precisely. And remember, trust is everything in the crypto world. So having these reliable, verifiable data feeds is absolutely crucial for all those exciting applications people are building on blockchains.
Okay, so now I'm starting to see the big picture here. Band protocol is trying to solve this really fundamental problem for blockchains, and they're doing it in a way that's secure and transparent.
Exactly. And it's opening up all sorts of possibilities. Decentralized finance, supply chain management, prediction markets, all these things rely on real world data.
Right, it's like band protocol is providing the missing piece of the puzzle. But, I keep hearing about Chainlink. Isn't Chainlink doing something similar with oracles?
You're right. Chainlink is a big player in the Oracle space. And there's definitely some overlap between what they're doing.
So what's the difference? Why would someone choose band protocol over Chainlink or vice versa?
Well, it's like choosing the right tool for the job, right?
Ah,
Both Chainlink and Band Protocol are trying to bridge the gap between real-world data and blockchains, but they approach it with different philosophies and they have different strengths.
so can you give us some specifics, like what makes band protocol unique?
Sure. One thing that stands out is Band Protocol's focus on flexibility and customization. They have this system where developers can create their own custom Oracle scripts.
So it's like they're giving developers more control over how they get their data.
Exactly. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Developers can tailor the oracles to their specific needs. Another thing is that Band Protocol is known for being pretty cost-effective, which is a big consideration for a lot of projects, especially those just starting out.
So it's like they're trying to make oracles more accessible to a wider range of developers.
Exactly. And they've been making some interesting partnerships too, which could really help them grow their ecosystem. But at the end of the day, competition is a good thing.
Yeah, competition breeds innovation.
Exactly. It pushes everyone to improve and come up with better solutions.
All right, so we've talked about how band protocol works, what makes it unique, and we even touched on the competition. But let's talk about the future. What's band protocol's potential, and what are the risks?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The potential is huge. Like we were saying, this whole idea of connecting blockchains to the real world, it's crucial for the future of decentralized applications. If Band Protocol can successfully carve out its niche and keep attracting developers to its platform, they could be a major player in this space.
It sounds like they're in the right place at the right time. But what about those risks? Are there any red flags we should be aware of?
Well, the crypto world is always evolving, and there are always challenges. One of the biggest concerns with any Oracle system is security.
Right, because if those oracles get compromised, That could have a ripple effect on all the applications that rely on them.
Exactly. And band protocol, like all these projects, they're constantly working to improve their security and make themselves less vulnerable to attacks. Another risk is data reliability. Even if the oracles themselves are secure, what if the data they're fetching is inaccurate or biased?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like garbage in, garbage out.
Right. So it's crucial to make sure those oracles are getting their data from trustworthy sources and that there are mechanisms in place to validate the information. And, of course, there's always the risk of competition. Chainlink is a formidable opponent, and there might be other players emerging that we don't even know about yet.
It's a wild world out there.
It is, but that's what makes it exciting.
Absolutely. All right, so to sum things up, Band Protocol is trying to solve this really crucial problem. For the crypto world, they're doing it in a way that's innovative and flexible, but there are definitely risks to consider as well.
Right. I think the key takeaway here is that Band Protocol is a project with a lot of potential, but it's not a guaranteed win. It's going to be fascinating to see how they navigate the challenges ahead and what kind of impact they ultimately have on the blockchain space.
It definitely is. Well, this has been a super informative deep dive, and I got to say, I'm even more intrigued by Band Protocol now than I was before. What about you after all this research and discussion? What are your final thoughts on Band Protocol?
Well, to be honest, I'm cautiously optimistic. I think they have a lot going for them, but it's a competitive space and a lot can happen. The big question for me is, can they execute on their vision? Can they attract enough developers, build a strong enough community, and ultimately deliver on their promises? That's what's going to determine their success or failure in the long run. And for everyone listening, that's the question I want to leave you with. With everything we've discussed today, what do you think the future holds for Band Protocol?
It's a question worth pondering. And that's what this deep dive is all about, giving you the information and the tools to make your own informed decisions. So keep researching, keep exploring, and as always, we'll see you next time for another deep dive into the fascinating world of crypto.